Growing up in Malaysia, I played everything. Soccer with the neighborhood kids, basketball in school, badminton at the club, or swimming on weekends at the swimming club. I was the kid who played every sport that I could get my hands or my feet on, whether it be a racket sport, a team sport, or just go fishing with my dad. I just love sports and the outdoors, of course. And just like every kid who played soccer, I had a dream of becoming a pro soccer player when I grow up. But that didn't happen because as soon as I entered college, I realized the gap between myself and a professional athlete was too large. What I mean by that is the physical ability. I can't run it fast enough. I can't run long enough like a soccer player. So as soon as I got into college, I realized all those things. And so I pivot. I changed my focus from developing as a soccer player into a strength and conditioning coach. And in my graduate studies, I got my CSCS, and after I started working, I worked as a strength and conditioning coach. I came back to Malaysia for a few months, and then eventually I went back to China and stayed for more than 10 years over there, working as a strength and conditioning coach. I worked at the national team level, at the private sector, as well as in professional teams with pro athletes. So I've coached from youth athletes to national level athletes to professional athletes across multiple sports, from soccer, basketball, the normal team sports, the normal racket sports, to very niche sports like horse riding or kung fu athletes. So today's video, I want to talk about what multi-sport gave me as a kid and how it helped me as a coach nowadays, even long after I stopped playing so many sports. For example, soccer, it taught me how to move in a huge space, a large space. Acceleration, moving with the ball, controlling the ball, especially a long pass, reading the space between myself, my teammates, and the opponents, all that kind of stuff. And I especially enjoy playing on a large field because, I don't know, it just, the space, the amount of space makes me feel very comfortable. And then when it comes to basketball, which the court is a lot smaller than a soccer field, it taught me about acceleration and especially deceleration in multiple direction movements. And it's a different spatial awareness training compared to soccer because the movements are different, the rules are different, the opponents are different, the way you score is different. And other sports like racket sports like badminton, table tennis, these sports taught me a lot about rotation and then the whipping movement of the arm. I think it's very important because as a strength and conditioning coach, I see too many athletes not knowing how to throw a simple ball or even throw a rock. It might surprise you, but in a place, in a country when American football is not the major sport, it's not the most important sport, doing this movement is not common. Because if you don't play baseball, if you don't play American football, you rarely need to throw something this way. That's just my take. So as a strength and conditioning coach, I realized what all these different sports, all these different rules that they taught me how I need to excel, how I need to play within a given set of rules, but it also helps me develop different kinds of movement literacy. So I was able to do different kinds of movements. I was very fast when it comes to learning all the movements in the gym. So the squats, the lunges, the split squats, the bench press, the push-ups, all the medicine ball throws, those things, I learned them very quickly, which was very important when I was in college because it definitely put me ahead, especially when it comes to learning the more complex movements like the Olympic weightlifting movements, the power cleans, the snatches, all that stuff, all that good stuff. So as a strength and conditioning coach, I definitely felt that being exposed to all these different sports taught me how to move my body, how to adjust my body when I'm in a different position, when I'm in a unique or strange position that I was never in. I could make a quick decision, or I could find that connection to adjust my body, to adapt. So I adapt better. And when it comes to coaching athletes, I also realize those athletes who had the same experience as I did, or at least they played more than 2 sports, they learn faster, they learn a new movement faster, and they adapt more quickly. They are less prone to injury. They oftentimes seem more enjoyable during their training session. It felt less like they are being forced to train. And while those athletes who only played one sport, who are only training for a very certain, very specific goal, oftentimes when I see these athletes, when I coach them, it felt like they were being forced to do that sport. To me, it felt like they only had that choice, they only had that path. If they don't train, if they don't work to get themselves better, they have no other choice, especially in China. In this kind of system for athletes who are in the Chinese national team or their local team, they are somewhat bound to the team. So eventually burnouts happen, chronic injuries happen, and many of them, they eventually retire as early as during their college years. As I mentioned earlier, I went back to China to work as a strength and conditioning coach. And during that time, I stopped playing as much sport as I could. I didn't do it intentionally. It just naturally happened as I got busier, as I focused more on my personal career as a coach. So I was just coaching, teaching, and doing educational stuff, even doing social media in China. And I spent less time to play sports. I could remember a time when I wasn't playing any sport for a stretch of even 1 to 2 years, especially when I was with the Chinese national team, because that was during COVID. So all I could do every day during that time was I woke up, and from my dorm I went to the cafeteria, and from the cafeteria I went to the training facility. And those were the 3 places I could be during that time when I was with the Chinese national team. So it was very difficult mentally. I would say it's not difficult physically, because physically it was very easy, but mentally it was very challenging because it's too repetitive. There was nowhere we can go, and I couldn't play any sports. I could only, luckily I was still able to lift. I was still able to use one of the greatest gyms in the world, because you guys can see it in the videos. In some of the clips that I put in here, they got very nice equipment. But not being able to play sport, eventually I think I did burn out as a strength and conditioning coach. It wasn't because I worked too hard or worked too many hours, but I was practically operating in one single mode, which is being a coach. I was forever a coach. I was always in that mode without ever switching off that mode. And I stopped doing the thing that made me fall in love with this profession, which is playing sport itself. One thing that happened to me last October, was I did my ACL and meniscus reconstruction surgery. And it was probably, even though I'm still doing online content every day, social media every day, but it gave me time off and time away from my job. Bad on the surface, but good in the long run, because I needed to stop. I couldn't work after the surgery, so I had to stop, I had to recover, and it took months to recover. And I was able to get away from my job of constantly coaching every day. And as I was recovering, at one point I thought to myself, why do I even want to train if my only purpose to train was to train? I lost all motivation to train. I lost all my motivation and all my reasons to train, to work on my craft. Until at some point I figured I want to play sports again. I want to play soccer, I want to play basketball, I want to play tennis. I want to learn a new sport. I want to learn, I don't know, kite surfing. And at that point, that tiny little spark, it started reigniting inside my head or inside my heart. And all of a sudden, I found my reasons to start training again, to start treating training not as my job, but a way to take care of my body so that I can enjoy sports when I get better, when I finally get better from this surgery. And to be honest, this recovery wasn't easy. It was a lot more challenging than I initially thought, because it was not just physical, it was mentally challenging as well. And coming back to that multi-sports background, actual research shows that many elite athletes played different sports growing up, just like myself. And a 2022 systematic review found that delayed specialization was associated with reduced injury risk across all 8 studies that examined, and performance benefits in 7 of 9 studies, which basically says that focus on one thing too early for kids it's bad. It's your risk getting injured, and it basically matched what I experienced as a person and what I experienced as a coach and what I saw as a coach for many years, even in China, in a very different sporting system, in a very different coaching system compared to most Western coaches or athletes. So that being said, being a multi-sport athlete myself, being a strength and conditioning coach for more than a decade definitely gave me a lot of knowledge and experience in knowing the nuances of training, how to train for acceleration, how to jump higher, how to get stronger. But being able to recover from my surgery and knowing how I felt during this road to recovery, and being able to rediscover the joy of playing sport, and as well as finding the reasons to train again, is something that can only be experienced and not be taught. There's a lot of people who may have the same or similar experience as I have. If you have experienced this, I'm sure from your point of view, it shapes you a way you never imagined it could. And if you're a person who played multiple sports growing up, I want to hear from you. What sport did you play, and personally how it helped you and how it shaped you? And if you're a coach or even an athlete, a professional athlete who drifted away from playing sport, or you found that the joy of playing sports is no longer there, I'm curious if you're recognizing this, or what did you do? What helped you find your joy? What helped you found your way back? Or what did you do? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. My name is Boon, and this is the Borneo Stronghold.